The real world puts fat tails in our lives. So here is a plot of it's a histogram of daily stock price changes since 1928. And what this thing is, on how many days there are since 1928, but it's tens of thousands of days. And so what we're seeing here is that the stock market yielded a return of, this is for the S&P 500, or extended S&P 500, of between, I guess this is between, or of 1%, with some interval around that. It did that on something like 9,500 days. It earned plus 1% on one day. And then on something like 2,500 days, it earned plus 2%. And then on something like 800 days, it earned plus 3%. On what's that? Looks like it's about, I don't know, 400 days, it was plus 4%. And then here, I can't even figure that out anymore, something at plus 5%. After that, they look like you can't even see them anymore. So you might conclude by looking at this histogram that stock market returns are always between, say, minus 6% and plus 6%. As a matter of fact, on October 30th, 1929, the stock market went up 12.53% in one day. And on October 19th, 1987, the stock market fell 20.47% in one day. It was quite a shock. By the way, on this day, I was lecturing, giving this class. I was teaching Econ 252. And one of the students was listening to a transistor radio. Do you know what a transistor radio is? It's what they used to have before you had iPhones and things like that. So he raised his hand. I never forget this. And he said, "Did you know that the stock market is crashing right while you're giving this lecture?" So I instead of going back to my office, I just thought, what is he saying? I went downtown and I talked to my stockbroker at Merrill Lynch right here in New Haven. I took the elevator up and just walked in on them just to see what was happening. And it was this turmoil, and everyone, I did manage, because I walked in. If you tried to call your broker, you couldn't. He wouldn't answer. There's too many calls. But I walked in, barged in on him, and I said, "What's happening?" And he said, "Don't worry, don't panic." It was this big event, horrible event. But that was the biggest one-day drop ever in the whole history of the U.S. stock market. So I had the good fortune to be warned of it by my student with the transistor radio. The fact that my student, this was before laptops, but he did, we had problems with transistor radios back then.